Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel. This is Alrence, a licensed real estate sales agent in New York City. Today I will be discussing a very common question in the real estate industry. Should I rent or should I buy? So I made this video for you to be able to assess if you are better off staying in your rental or buying is a better option for you. As you know, New York City is very expensive. If you're planning to stay in the city for a couple of years, or if you have someone who's gonna live in your apartment after you leave, or you just wanted to hold it as an investment, live on it, and then sublet it afterwards for at least more than 3 years, then that's a good number to start. You should consider buying. The process of buying a home has additional costs like closing costs and mortgage fees. And the more longer you stay in the home, the more worth it because you're going to spread the cost over the months that you have stayed there. Also, maintenance costs of the apartment should be considered too. If you are uncertain that you will be staying in the apartment for more than 3 years, I suggest you continue renting because on top of that, if you sell the apartment too quickly, you will pay capital gains tax. And the second question that you need to ask yourself is, am I financially ready? Because down payment is one of the biggest factors that you need to consider in buying a home. The benchmark for it will usually be 20%. And don't forget the post-closing liquidity cost, which will take you around 2 years of maintenance. And that's for co-ops. For condos, it does not apply. So yeah, it's a big amount of money that you need to shell out. But if you're ready and you have money saved for it, then it's better for you buying an apartment. Another question that you need to ask yourself is that, are you okay staying put or you want some flexibility? If you're like me and you don't want to move and you want to be stable in one place, design it and stay there for a couple of years, then buying is good for you. Or on the other hand, if you want some flexibility, you just wanted to stay in an apartment for a couple of months or just a year and a half or just 2 years just to test the waters, then you're better off renting because selling an apartment takes some time from the moment you list it until you sell it. Another question that you need to ask yourself, the last one, is that, do you want a tax break? Because I do. This is one of the biggest benefits of home buying. Mortgage interest costs and property taxes could be deducted, and over time it can turn into savings. Renters, however, who have lived in the apartment for more than 6 months can get a credit of $500 based on your income and the tax amount you paid last year. But it really depends. You need to consult your accountant for this. It may be helpful to talk to a licensed real estate sales agent if you're better off renting or buying so that it will be more specific and cater to your situation, so you can really sit down and list the pros and cons of buying versus renting. But just to summarize everything that we discussed, I'll tell you the pros and cons of buying and renting. The benefits of buying a home. So first of all, you don't have a landlord to report to. Second, you are free to choose whatever or however you want to design the apartment depending on your taste. Third, you are more stable compared to renting an apartment. Number 4 is your possible tax breaks. And number 5 is your potential to build equity and credit. So the disadvantages of home buying is that you'll need more time invested upfront and closing costs too, plus the down payment is a lot of money. And then the second one is that you're responsible for your maintenance. No one's gonna help you compared to renting an apartment wherein you just call the management and they'll fix it up for you. There are extra payments that needs to be made, like the maintenance that's on top of your mortgage payments. So yes, just to summarize the disadvantages of owning a home. First is that you need to invest a lot of time in buying an apartment. The paperwork needs to be filled, the interviews if you're buying a co-op, and then it requires a substantial amount of money, and that's your deposit, which is usually 20%. The next one, that you'll be responsible for your own repairs. So if you're renting, you'll just call the management and they will fix it up for you. The last one is that you'll get extra expenses on top of your mortgage payments, which is like your maintenance and then the repairs too. So the advantages of renting is that you'll have mobility. There's fewer time spent compared to buying an apartment. There's fewer upfront costs, so you don't need to pay much, like 20%. You just need to pay 1 month's rent, 1 month security, that's the usual. And if you need to pay the broker's fee, like a 1 month broker's fee. The third one is that you're not responsible for repairs, so if something's broken, you just call someone. And the fourth one is that you don't have maintenance or like property tax bills that you need to shoulder every month. So the disadvantages of renting is that the landlord can rent or sell the property anytime. There's not much choices if there's limited inventory. The third one is that you don't have any tax benefits. And the fourth one is that you don't build equity. And then the last but not the least is that you might move multiple times, because if you're renting, that's not stable. Anything can happen. So just be ready for it. So this is it, the end of my video. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope this information will be very helpful to all of you guys out there if you're thinking of renting or buying an apartment in New York City. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions and comment it down below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe at the end of my video. Bye!